welcome to the Tommo Westy podcast. We're doing this in between the Tigers podcast because that's going to be fortnightly. So what we're wanting to do is just have a little catch up about the game, especially because we won at the weekend, which we don't know when the next win's going to come. Hopefully Sunday, which we'll talk about a little bit later on. Has to happen. They're going to be jet lagged, so we're at full strength. Oh, easy peasy, mate. Easy peasy. So what we want to do in between the Tigers podcast is just me and Tommo just having a little chat about the games in between. Because by the time we come round to record the normal podcast, we can't remember a thing. We're getting old now, so we just need to try and think about in the here and now when it's fresh in the mind. So I've got me. I'm representing. I've got my 2002 shirt on. I don't know how it still fits, mate, when I were a sprightly young man at the time, and I'm not now. So I thought I'd rep with some old, been up in loft and saw it, and I was like, I'll have that, mate. It was quite a nice shirt, actually, to be fair.
Yeah, it was nice. Old one, that one, wasn't it?
Yeah, jungle.com one. But you know what I've noticed for the first time ever? It actually says jungle.com in there, and I don't think I've ever noticed that before, that it says it on colour. How weird is that?
Yeah, it's a nice shirt, isn't it?
It's what? 24-year-old? Yeah, 2002, wasn't it?
2002, yeah.
Definitely. So,
just working out maths in my head then.
That gets harder with age as well, mate.
Yeah. But yeah, it were nice to see all positive messages we got and comments and stuff on YouTube on it.
Yeah, it was, mate.
Obviously, we're doing it looking to do it every 2 weeks. So in between, we come up with an idea. We're going to do his own little sort of thing. We have previously done this before. We once recorded an hour-long video. It turned out we never had no audio. So we're hoping that if you're watching this now, that it has worked and we have managed to, sort it out.
Managed to crack it. I don't know how all these podcasters do it, mate. You can tell that we're not technological.
We're still fresh
freaks.
to it, though. We're still learning out. We're still learning.
We are.
That's his excuse.
Give us a couple of weeks, mate. We'll be flying.
Oh, we will be. So, what did we think of the Huddersfield game then?
Good, mate. Good. Don't get me wrong, mate. I think as much as, no disrespect to us, but as much as we were good, I think Huddersfield were poor, especially in that first 30 minutes. I think I said to you, didn't I, that Asher O'Donnell ain't up to much crack, is he? And
he's not
a patch on his brother, is he?
Without being disrespectful.
No, it's not been disrespectful. He's not a patch on his brother, is he? I don't think on Kai, because he took to Super League pretty quickly, and he's probably one of the best back rowers in league, wasn't he?
Yeah, he was.
He's still young though, and I think he'll grow for Huddersfield. But I think he had about three knock-ons in a short space of time.
Well, Huddersfield had, I think, about 13 altogether during the game,
which is crazy.
It wouldn't surprise me if majority of them all come in first half.
Yeah, because they tightened up a lot in the second half, didn't they? I mean, I think looking at the players, mate, looking at the team, I think Joe Stimson really stepped up. I think giving him the leadership just give him a boost, didn't it? I know he seems like he's a good lad and all that, but he's in a good team player. But I think we've not really seen the best of him yet, have we? And I think that's probably his best game in a Cash shirt in his short spell. He definitely, in that number 13 role, he led from the front, didn't he? He made some decent meters, a couple of tip-ons. And he looked really strong. Tom Weaver, his best game for Cass so far as well. I think
bit of arrogance about him, I thought, as well, in the second half, which is always good.
Yeah, definitely. And it's nice to see an half-back. We haven't really had that since Luke Gale, have we? An half-back backing up.
Seven since Gale, have we, really?
No. And backing up, like I say, when Westerman made that break, he were on his shoulder straight away, and we haven't had that for a long time, have we?
No.
Corey Ashton, probably the last one. That great try he scored against Wakey, if you remember it. But no, probably Luke Gale, wasn't it, in all fairness? Last one that could back up readily like that and be there. Mate, we've got to talk about Ashton Goulding, mate. What a difference he made when he came on, mate.
To say, he's not had a pre-season. Well, he's not had
a proper pre-season.
I know he's trained on his own, but it's not sort of the same thing, is it? But yeah, massive shout out to Ashton Goulding. Completely different nine to how Uddy, isn't it?
Yeah.
Uddy's more of a sort of general nine that's going to organise stuff from nine, where Ashton Goulding's a 9 where he's going to shoot off.
Yeah.
Sees markers not square, he's going to go run at them and stuff, more of a direct runner. But yeah, what did you think of him?
Mate, I've signed up, mate, number 1 in
fan club,
mate. I never thought I'd be saying that 10 years ago, mate. But but yeah, when I was booing him at Magic Weekend, but he's no, mate. I've always thought there's been something there. There has been a player there, and he's proved it in short spells, hasn't he? And Huddersfield fans, all 3 of them. No disrespect to them, but all 3 of them, they really. I've got more than that. They really rated him, didn't they? They really liked him.
Yeah.
And I know Leeds fans were divided, as you always get when it's a player from your academy.
He was fairly young when he left Leeds.
He was, mate.
22.
Yeah, he spent a lot of time at Fev, didn't he, as well, on loan, when Leeds were dual regging with him. So, really liked him, mate. He's if you looked at him going back to what we were saying 10 years ago, mate, he's a completely different player.
He's got a lot of size on, hasn't he, from when he was at Leeds? It's in a good way.
It's muscle, though, isn't it? You can see it's muscle rather than... Because me and my dad were talking about it, and we're like, he used to be quite a scrawny kid, didn't he, at full-back? He used to get knocked over pretty easy, but he stood up in the tackle. He got scalped by the Huddersfield player, which is always nice to see. I don't know how that was missed, but... there you go. But he carried on, didn't he? So, you could see his reaction because his head jolted back, and you could see like that. But he carried on. Definitely, mate. I think as he gets fitter as well, and as he gets used to the systems, because I think even Chris Chester came out, didn't he, and said that he'd been with us a week or 2 before we announced it anyway, or a few days. So nice to see that he's settled pretty quickly, but. Like we said on the cast last week, mate, he's a good club man. He's good to have around as a talker as well, and it's a good foil to Huddy, isn't it? Which is really good because, like you say, they're completely
different dynamics as well, haven't they? Like just touched on.
Yeah, it was a shame when Huddy had to go off because that were a beast of a tackle on Burgess, wasn't it?
Yeah, well, yeah.
I think
he's doing a bit of a, do you have a poking eye?
I think so, yeah. I think Kieran Rush, as he turned, didn't he, to pass the ball, caught him, because he was still on the floor. I think he was just like shocked himself with that tackle, didn't he? But it's like my old man said to me, Uddy's got a little bit of Macca in him, hasn't he? A little bit of McShane, but probably not as, no disrespect to Uddy again.
He's a bit more aggressive with his
I'm going to say more aggressive.
Defending a little bit is Liam Hood.
Yeah. But he's got the smarts like Macca, though.
Yeah. I think his defensive side of him reminds me of Mickey Mack a little bit. He seems to really get after him. He's strong in contact. You see him when he's defending, he normally gets opposition on the back, which obviously takes longer to get up and play ball. Yeah. But yeah, quickly going back to Joe Simpson, I thought that was the best game I've seen him having a cast shirt. Yeah. It was everything he was going into, going in 100 mile an hour. I thought it was very good. Stokes, you sort of see more from it, really, don't you? You sort of, the leadership that he's got. I know a lot of people have mentioned he's a bit of a leader and stuff like that. Yeah. You just want to see it more, don't you, and stuff like that. Hopefully, with Alex Miller out now for 7 to 8 weeks, how long it is. But
big blow.
He knows now. Does Joe is going to be captain, so pushing forward, positive things. If he can sort of replicate last week's performance going forward.
That's it, mate, 100%. And again, Mapalangi, I like him, mate.
Some player,
he looks like he can do anything with the ball, doesn't he, really?
He's absolutely rapid. His
beats his first man every
100 mile
time.
an hour, isn't it?
Yeah, beats his first man every time. He's got a little bit of...
Runs on his front as well, I've noticed. More majority of the time. Quick play ball off back of him. Won a couple of penalties as well, I've noticed.
Yep. 100%. And like we touched on the cast as well, and I think that's helped bring Gary on as well.
Yeah, they seem to be forming a bit of a good partnership down that side as well. When one of them wins a penalty, they seem to be running up to each other and jumping.
Yep.
Up and down, which is, I know we're laughing, but it's nice to see it. Seems over the last couple of years, it's like just a bunch of lads that have been put together. There doesn't seem to be no chemistry or anything like that. So it is nice to see when you see our lads running together and stuff like that and celebrating small little wins.
100%, mate. You've got to celebrate the little wins, mate. That's the
back of him. Won a couple of penalties as well, I've noticed.
Yep. 100%.
But yeah,
And like we touched on the cast as well, and I think that's helped bring Gary on as well.
yeah, they seem to be forming a bit of a good partnership down that side as well. When one of them wins a penalty, they seem to be running up to each other and jumping.
Yeah.
Up and down, which is, I know we're laughing, but it's nice to sort of see.
Course it
It
is.
seems
Course
over the
it
last
is.
couple of years, it's like just a bunch of lads that have been put together. There doesn't seem to be no chemistry or anything like that. So it is nice to see when you see our lads running together and stuff like that and celebrating small little wins.
100%, mate. You've got to celebrate the little wins, mate. That's the thing. How do you feel with the captain's challenges, mate? Hard. Hard with the angles, weren't they? But you know,
it's a bit of a funny one though, isn't it? Because I think against Wigan, don't think we used any. And then against Toulouse, I think we used one in first sort of 10 minutes, and then I think we blew it. 10, 15 minutes and we blew it. And then last week, like I said, there were a couple that were inconclusive, weren't there? I don't know, it's one of them, innit?
Yeah.
It's a bit of a funny one, really. Like
you say, a bit thrown by it, mate. A bit perplexed by it. To be fair, mate, I were at the time. I was like, I mean, the first one, you could see a grab in motion. I'm not saying he did, far from it, but you could see a grab in motion. Second one, definitely inconclusive.
It just seems a bit sometimes like, I don't know what to call it, so I'm just going to hand it over to them guys, and then they're like, well, I don't know what to sort of... It seems a bit, there's a confusion, a bit of like... do you like if you've got a problem, like say that you've ordered a new sofa, there's a problem with your sofa, and then you phone like DFS up, and they're like, I want Uzi, well, you're going to have to phone delivery service. They can sort of palm it blame off onto other people. That's what it's sort of coming across as at times.
Feels like that, doesn't it? And, you know, it were like that as well with Huddersfield's challenge. When it were our ball, and the referee had given it to us, they challenged it because they said he'd been head high. I know that Zenon stayed down, didn't he? Whereas Mapalangi, when he got decapitated, didn't. He got straight back up, and even Kari said in his press conference he didn't want his players staying down, and that's right, is that, mate? You don't want them staying down to get.
It just made me really laugh, like looking back at that now, because Tahir Milne didn't get a sin bin for that clothesline he did, and then a couple of minutes later he got a sin bin for being offside, wasn't it?
I know.
He's just like
crazy. He's not even been up for disciplinary this week. It's just like
I don't think he has.
It's sometimes I don't know. Again, you just using that analogy there with the sofa and stuff, and it's like the same. And it's like I don't get it. But someone will have said, someone will have been sin binned for a late tackle. Well, that were an early tackle. Can't get sin binned. Can't get sin binned for that. But yeah, I think he did well to carry on, mate. For me, I'd have probably been still looking for my head right now. It
was a bit confusing at time. What else were confusing is rolling back the years. Joe Westy, I mean, how good were Westy last week?
I mean, of all the people to break through and have an assist for a try, I'd have never thought Westy. Now, a couple of years ago, 100%, but now, mate, I'd have been like, wow. But fair play, mate. Like you say, rolling back the years, and definitely he stepped up. Starting in the middle, he stepped up.
I looked at meters. I always look at meters after the game, and Westy was top of ours. Joe Simpson's not on, so I'm not 100% sure, but I think he had like 100 plus meters. And one thing, like me and you have always spoken about, is Westy can play with ball, can't he? He's really good. 100%. But one thing that me and you have always sort of said is we'd like to see him a bit more direct. Sometimes Westy will sort of go to plate line and he'll always play out round back. Yeah. Whereas what day did we play?
Friday.
Friday, yeah. What he did was he was very direct in his running, and I think it was very good. Probably, I think Stimson would probably deserve it man at match on Sky, but I think Westy were probably second to be honest with you, man at match
for the forwards, and I think looking at the forwards, two that I picked out. Obviously, Jack Ashworth's debut. He didn't play a lot of minutes, but obviously still getting some minutes into the legs, isn't he? Because he didn't get a chance to play any games in pre-season because of the ban. Won't talk about that. Hopefully, don't get any for us. But good spell, good little spell. Tightened us up in the middle, made some decent meters. Nearly scored with one of his first touches, didn't he? I'd like to watch that back again because it looked like it wasn't a loose carry. Anyway, let's just say that.
Yeah, it was quite funny because I said to my friends at the time, I said, Ashworth will come on here now and give a bit of like just direct straight running. And it made me laugh as he come on and Ashworth were playing at line as well. And I feel like, you know, it's a bit of a, I wouldn't want to say battering ramp, but he's got very good leg drive on it and he makes good meters and stuff like that. And it just made me chuckle. I said to my friends that he's coming on here, gives it a bit, and he sort of kept playing at line, did Ashworth, but he'll get better as he gets more minutes in his lungs and stuff like that. But again, not a bad player to bring on, is he, for sort of 15, 20 minutes?
Definitely not.
That's that role that we've spoken about over the last couple of years. Is like Namo. He was sort of all right in that role, but obviously not using a quota player. But what did you think of George Hurst as well?
Thought he did well, mate. Nigh on 80 minutes, I think he played, didn't he? If not the full 80.
Most tackles, I think he made as well. I was
just going to say, he tackled his heart out, mate. He were unlucky a couple of times near the line as well in that first 30 minutes. He were. I think he nearly scored at one bit, didn't he? He were just short, and then Hook scored off it.
I think he knocked on. I think first. I think Arsenal gave a bit of a murder ball, but he seemed to really grow into the game, didn't he? As game sort of progressed.
He's definitely going to be good to have around for the next few games or so, mate. Definitely.
Big lad as well, isn't he? About 6'3", 6'4".
Really big lad, and you know he's only what 22, 23. So you know he's still filling out, isn't he? As a
lot of growth for him as well, hasn't it?
A lot of growth. You can see why Wigan have snapped him up, can't you? And you know he's on their books. I'm sure they'll be recalling him at some point. Because I don't know the ins and outs.
I think he's out of contract. He could have signed a year, didn't he?
I think so, or 2 years. I think when he joined them last year. Somebody I'd keep around, mate. To be perfectly honest, if
someone else who I'd sort of keep around for the versatility is Zach Sini.
Yep.
I thought he was pretty flawless in his performance. You know, he's not had really much of a pre-season. He's been injured. I can't remember him dropping sort of any balls or anything like that. I know you sort of know a little bit more about him. You were sort of involved with Danny when they signed him with Sini, but you were also saying he's not really an out-and-out centre. He's not really an out-and-out centre, though, is he, though, really?
No, not really, mate. I think I watched a lot of Queensland Cup and Q Cup on the apps like you do, and watch the videos on YouTube and stuff, because I'm a bit of a rugby nerd, as we are, as yourself is, mate. We love rugby league. We're all about rugby league, and, you know, watching him 2 years ago for Parramatta Q Cup, New South Wales Cup team, pretty much every time he played fullback, he was in the team of the week, the official team of the week for the New South Wales Cup. Played with Assy as well. He got moved into the first team, did Assy at Parramatta, so they know each other already. So a link is kind of there already. You'd like to think. I think more he plays at fullback, it'll grow. There were some decent fullbacks in that comp as well at that time. Brad Abbey, player we've been linked with previously many moons ago. He was at the Warriors then. He's at Manly now. A couple of other decent fullbacks as well, which aren't necessarily playing over here, but have gone on to play in the main NRL. Daniel Atkinson were playing fullback at the time then for Newtown Jets, and he's starting halfback now, isn't he, for St George?
For St George, yeah.
So he's another player that we nearly got, that not many people know. Yeah, at the same time as Kyle Iro. Yeah, we nearly got Atkinson as well, and I think Atkinson and Iro, if we'd have got them two, mate, we wouldn't have been just looking at fighting at the bottom of the table. You wouldn't have been hammering
Danny about Daniel Imarsh then, would we?
What a player, mate. What a player. Mate, we've got to drop Danny in it.
It just didn't work, that signing, did it? Unfortunately.
Tell you one signing, mate, that he did make. He didn't necessarily, but he was at the club at the time, and he was helping Radford at the time. George Lawler, mate. Again.
George Lawler, yeah. I thought he was very good when he come on. I thought his leg drive were very good. He made a lot of meters. Obviously took his try well as well. Nice assist by Liam Wood, but Yeah, he seems to have been around block now for a bit, doesn't he? I'm sure he's only about 29, 30.
Yeah, roughly, yeah. He's really good, mate, really good. I've always been impressed with Lord. I liked him at OKR, to be fair.
Grafter as well, isn't he? And he can play a
100%.
little bit as well, actually, with his hands. He's not too bad, to be honest with you.
Yeah, he can play anywhere in the pack, can't he, really?
Yeah.
I think he's even played centre at some point, when we needed him to.
We seem to be building a little bit of a sort of squad of grafters. I mean, Jordan Lane, I know I've mentioned you before, he reminds me of Ollie Holmes a little bit in terms of his...
Yeah. I think he actually won Sky's Man of the Match to Jordan Lane, I think.
Did he?
I think so, yeah. I think Stimson won the club one, and I think Jordan Lane won the Sky one.
Oh, it might be the other way around, I think, actually.
What it?
I think,
it might be the other way around, yeah.
And
he tackled his heart out, mate.
Yeah, it's another one that you sort of, a bit like Nathan Massey, you don't really stand out to your sort of average person, but I'm sure teammates and stuff really appreciate playing with, players like Laney and stuff like that. They seem to get through a lot of hard work and carries well as well, to be honest with you. He lands on his front a lot as well, does Jordan Lane, so we seem to be building nicely. I know obviously we're not going to get carried away, it is Huddersfield, and we've got but again, like I mentioned on the podcast we did last week, we've not bet Huddersfield since 2022, I think it was.
At home, yes. So nice to get the result against them, mate, and kind of get that monkey off us back, really.
And again, me and you had sort of mentioned midweek, I forgot to sort of mention it to you, but we sort of picked out Tom Burgess, and I thought they were a lot better when Tom Burgess come on.
Yeah, they were.
I think he carried ball really well for him. I know he's not sort of the same player he was when he was at Souths, but yeah, I don't honestly think they're as bad as what sort of people suggest myself. I'm not saying that our win's sort of brilliant, here we go, let's go to grand final, but...
HMSP, the league.
Yeah. I think they probably should be doing a little bit better than what...
They should, mate.
What they are doing.
They've got some good players in isolation, haven't they?
Yeah.
I think we marshalled Lola here quite well.
Kept him quiet, didn't we?
We did. I think we kept, apart from when we switched off for his try, I think we kept Flanagan pretty quiet as well. And he threw Teddy out at quarter end, didn't he?
Oh, God, yeah. He wanted Daniel McIntosh to go outside.
He did, didn't he? Don't celebrate in front of him, just like his dad, George. A bit of fire in him. But yeah, he's it's nice to keep a player like that after Ashall Bot pretty much had the run of us.
Yeah,
a similar kind, probably a bit more. No disrespect to Ashall Bot because he's more of a runner, isn't he? But George Flanagan's probably got a bit more, passing.
He's playing halves as well.
Yeah, of course he can. Whereas Ashall Bot does he? So nice to keep a fullback like that quiet, mate. Because we've always struggled. It was the same when Tompkins played, mate. We always struggle. We can never get him tackled, mate. It's like just stick a shoulder in him, get him on floor. He won't want to know.
Yeah,
like when Carney ran over him.
And
he didn't want to know.
Is this round about the same time when they refused to get changed at Casa? Did they go somewhere different?
Yeah, I think they went to were they at De Vere?
That one under Michael Maguire, I think that one it.
At Wigan, yeah.
At
Wigan, yeah.
Tell you.
Yeah.
Well, when Jungle's One Bar Stadium, I do apologise, it's rocking.
Mate, it's making you think, mate, with jungle.com on, that's what it is. That's where it originated from.
The sort of, full town, when Casa playing well and, full town's bouncing out there, and we make it difficult. Anyone comes down here when we've got a good team together and a solid hard working team. I mean, I can remember when Powell first come in, 2013, and straight away you could see, I mean, there were some mad score lines. I think we've witnessed something like 40 points to 38 or something like that.
There were a few, weren't there?
I don't think I remember. I think Rangy Chase got Simba in that game. I think he had a bit of a scrap with Kevin Brown, I think it was. But you could sort of see an identity and how we wanted to sort of play.
Yeah.
Have you noticed in these first couple of games a difference in how we want to play compared to sort of previous years?
Yeah.
A bit to sort of say.
We're moving the ball a lot quicker. I mean, Friday were a tough game to move the ball. The weather's
not helping as well.
Great, and so I think we'll really see it come to the fore, shifting the ball when because we've got some speed in them outside backs and we've got some size. And like I touched on the main cast, I think when the weather picks up, it'll be a good test for him this weekend against Big Sevo. But I think Ravalawa, he'll come into his own when weather gets better. I think he'll hit some teams. We'll hit some teams hard with him. I think, I think at the minute he's getting a bit bogged down. He's a big guy. He's got massive calves, massive legs. I think I always find that, and I always used to find in winter rugby as well when we used to play in winter, you're more fleet of foot wingers because he's got a bit of pace in him as well as Ronald.
Yeah, he's not
for a
slow,
big guy. He ain't slow. I think we'll see him, and when we can move the ball quicker, when the weather will get the ball to him quicker. Weaver will have settled in by then, so he'll be able to full back the link in, boom.
Last week against Huddersfield, it felt as though every time he would take it ball in, Huddersfield was sort of putting like an extra man in. There were like 3 or 4 men that were sort of taking him down. It only takes for him to get that offload. But
100%.
against Toulouse, after the one attack, I think it was in the second half, McIntosh were attacking down right hand side, and their winger had jammed in.
Yeah.
And all he had to do, McIntosh, was sort of get ball out.
Yeah,
but
it'd have been
for whatever reason, obviously, he couldn't do so. But
that's it, mate. I can't wait for that opportunity when he gets away. Because he'll be under
I don't think he's been bad as what some people are making out, though.
He hasn't, mate. He's offered something.
He's been getting hammered a little bit online and stuff like that. I don't think it's been justified, really.
Yeah, like you say, though, mate, he's taking 3 or 4 men to tackle him, and it's opening those gaps. And that's what we've lacked, mate. We have lacked that little bit of... because he lands on his front as well quite often, or stays on his feet, doesn't he, quite often?
Yeah.
I've noticed, and he did in the NRL as well. And if he can get that quick play of the ball, it's going to give us that gap in it. It's going to give us that speed. We're going to win a penalty.
Oh, yeah.
We're going to win a 6 again. Because I think that's the first time we've had quite a few 6 agains for quite some time as well. To be fair,
I felt as though Huddersfield were really slowing Rook down. To be honest with you,
yeah,
they were really slowing game down.
Yeah, I think at the minute, we're seeing with the injuries as well, mate. We obviously quite a few ACLs. The ground isn't helping. The pitches aren't helping because our pitch is immaculate, mate. I don't know why people slander our pitch. It is amazing. That grass.
Oh, it is, yeah.
Stu does an amazing job with that pitch. There's not many. Yeah, they talk about it not being 100 metres and stuff, but yeah, it is 100 metres, but in old money. You know what I mean? So it is, but in old money, not in metric as it is now. So, it's I've played on it, mate. It's bigger than you think. I mean, I was a kid at the time, so it was always going to be bigger, but it is bigger than you think. And people talk about it, but I think it's an immaculate art pitch. But what I'm seeing with the pitches, with the speed of the play of the ball and the ruck at times, I think that's where injuries are coming from, and quite some hefty injuries. I mean, ACL seems to be kind of a theme at the minute, doesn't it?
It does, yeah. I mean, I've been reading a little bit today about ACL injuries, same as in football, and what a lot of people are sort of coming to a bit of a conclusion is, the AstroTurf pitches, the 4G pitches. Some people are sort of suggesting, not like sports scientists or anything, but people are maybe suggesting that maybe they've got some sort of effect on people with injuries. But I mean, I've played on them myself, football and rugby, and I don't think personally the best of things to play on. No. Like you have studs on and stuff like that. Sometimes you can be running, you sort of get cemented into the ground.
Yeah, you do.
And then if you're setting off again, sometimes your knees and all sorts of I don't know. Yeah. Obviously, it's definitely there's got to be something behind it because
got to be.
It was very rare 20, 30 years ago. You saw many people get ACL injuries in football and rugby, did you? And you seem to be getting them now. I mean, there's a bit of a fullback curse against Wigan at the minute. I mean, people are suggesting they don't want to play the fullbacks against Wigan.
Well, it's Toulouse this weekend against them, isn't it? So that's Ollie gone for season.
Yeah. It's weird though, isn't it?
It is weird, mate. Weird. It is weird. I mean, none of them have come from bad tackles, though, have they? That's the thing. If it were their tackling technique, you'd be like, hold on a minute, there's something amiss here, wouldn't you? But it hasn't been. It's like Blake's were pretty much nothing in it, were it? Just a bit of a tumble when he were taking the ball up. Will Price
was quite soft as well last week. Wasn't it? I don't think no one really sort of tackled him. Really, sort of just went down himself.
Yeah, bit bizarre, mate. Bit bizarre. So you won't want to be a fullback playing Wigan this week, would you?
No, you wouldn't.
Good luck, Ash Altbot. So then, mate, cracking to get his first 2 points, mate. Really good win, mate. Really sets you up for the weekend. Makes you happy. Which is always nice, isn't it? You always got that.
Oh, it's definitely got that nice on your face.
Nice little feel about it, mate, and really good to get that and some good performances in there. So, Leeds on Sunday, mate. At Headingley.
What do you do? Do you want to stop it now and then redo it again?
Can do, mate. Let's just make sure it's...
You'll point out, I'm only joking. Yeah, the under Brad Arthur, they've sort of completely changed that of Leeds. They have a really strong outfit to play against, and I think Jake Connor, even some Leeds fans at times were sort of questioning why they were signing him. I know they had Matt Frawley at time and stuff, so I don't know why they were questioning signing Jake Connor, but I generally think he's their best player, and I think he makes them tick. I know Brody Croft's a good player, but I think did Jake Connor miss their first game when they played against Leeds? I think he did, didn't he?
He
did. And coincidentally, they lost. So I think it's easier said than done, but keeping Jake Connor quiet. But I think have Leeds got a couple of injuries as well. I think they got a couple of injuries. Is Palacina back? Is he back this week?
I think he played at weekend, didn't he?
Palacina,
yeah.
Sorry, I'm thinking of Matautia. Is it Matautia?
Oh, Matautia, yeah. Matautia,
I'm sure I've read that he's back, I think, on Sunday, I think, so...
I think...
it's another difficult game. I don't think we've bet them for a couple of years. When was the last time we bet them, Magic Weekend?
Yeah, I think it was, mate. Magic Weekend
23,
23, yeah.
So, it's a while ago since we've bet them, isn't it?
It is, mate, 3 years, and, it's a tough game, mate, and, you can see it now that Lachie Miller's getting used to rugby league now. Because he'd only had about 18 months, 2 years at Newcastle, didn't he? Before and Cronulla before he came to Leeds, and he was a sevens player prior to that, wasn't he? So in rugby union. So even though they're very similar sports, mate, they're very different.
Definitely,
and different paces, different speed, and sevens is a completely different game to rugby union. International or league, it's a completely different game to rugby league. So it's getting used to it. I think they're seeing the best out of him now. I think Brad Arthur's getting the best out of him. He's a solid fullback, and he always seems to have a good game against us. Turns into prime Darren Lockyer, doesn't he? So another one we need to be on his mettle against. And
obviously, Sevo, he seems to be in the spotlight at the minute, and rightly so after his performance last week.
Yeah, definitely, mate.
I mean, obviously, lad had a full year out last year, and really big signing, a lot of expectation around him. So you sort of understand why people are talking about him, but it's going to be some battle against Ravawala, because I think Ravawala, he obviously plays on right and Sevo plays on left, doesn't he? So
they're going to be up against each other.
They will sort of be going up against each other. I'm sort of joking, when they're doing boxing where they have the gloves off.
Yeah.
Start of this week, they should have got someone like Brian Carney doing his gloves off Ravawala versus Sevo, but I'm not sure how that would have gone down.
Very, very, very similar in stature and build as well, aren't they? They're pretty. Both big lads, both over 6 foot, both wide. We need to be, we need to be on it, mate.
From get go as well, don't we?
Yeah, 100%.
You need to keep that south stand quiet. Yeah. Start off from on front foot. Really, would you probably start with same team that we played against Huddersfield? Would you go with Westy and Stimson and Tony starting again?
Probably, mate. I mean, it depends whether Brock comes into the equation, doesn't it? Because I think Brock will start on the bench if he's back.
Yeah, but who drops out? It's going to be a bit difficult.
It's hard, isn't it? You don't change a winning team, but you change a losing team, don't you?
So I know we didn't touch on, but I thought Sam Hall carried ball really well as well.
He did, to be fair.
Last week against, and obviously there were reports that were sort of trying to move him on.
Yeah.
And he seems to sort of made it out of bomb squad, doesn't he? He seems to I think Chelsea likes him now, doesn't they? And Ryan Carr, so.
Thing is, I've always thought he's had a bit about him as Sam Hall, and he's been a bit of an old school prop. He'd have probably been absolutely top of the tree, probably in the mid-90s with his build as a prop, as a ball handling prop. In pre-Super League, mate, it'd have been one of the best props in comp, mate. It'd have been having teams throwing cash at him.
Well, I think Danny once told us, didn't he, when he was coaching one of all academy teams, and I think he said he played against Cass, and he said that Sam Hall were absolutely unplayable. I think Cass put about 50 odd points on Danny's team, or whatever his involvement was. I'm not 100%
City
sure.
But yeah, he's shown it at times as well. I mean, going back to that last time we beat Leeds at Magic Weekend, he had an absolute storming game.
He played ball out round back, didn't he?
Yeah, he didn't set up a try, vital try for Gary. So you know you need cast lads in the team, mate, and you need local lads in the team. You know, it's like we touched on the Tigers podcast, mate. It's
going to be no easy game this year, anyway.
They're in, mate. They're in, and you know this ain't going to be any easy, mate. If we can get through this unscathed, mate, and you know,
just have a good performance to back up. That's all you sort of ask for, isn't it? That's what we all ask for as cast fans.
And anything can happen, mate. Anything can happen if we get, you know, the rub of the green. You know, if we get some points on the board early doors, mate. Leeds might tire quickly, jet lag. I'm sure Brad Arthur's pretty clued up in it.
Back down to earth sort of thing.
Yeah, so I'm sure he's pretty much done that, and I'm sure he's pretty much prepped him really well for, you know, jet lag and stuff like that. So, which is a killer. I've experienced it a couple of times. It is a killer.
I just think, like, sort of one thing that worries me is just Jake Connor's kicking.
Yeah.
I think Ravawala and probably Gary at times, just in his short time this period, have a little bit of difficulty sometimes with ball in air, and obviously Jake Connor's one at best. So I think one ploy that Leeds will be trying to use this weekend is probably kicks at corner. So that's one thing we probably need to watch out for. Obviously, Huddersfield scored off the back of one of them, didn't they? Flanagan's try last week. So
they did. Eyeball to Ravalawa that he didn't commit to.
I mean, you've got Brody Cross running game as well. You know he's always going to run his Croft, so you need to watch out for that as well.
Danny Levi as well, mate.
Good player. Yeah, very good player as well.
He escaped abandon, so with his first penalty points. I mean, one note I put down about Leeds the other day, I think the only time KR had any sustained pressure is when they put the kick in behind. They did it behind Ryan Hall, so it went over Ryan Hall, and then they did it in the repeat set, or it might have been a couple of sets later, against Sevo. They had to turn the back, and both big lads. So I think if we can get the ball in behind, which is easier.
Well, I'm sure Leeds once did that years ago. I don't know if it were a grand final. I might have been a grand final. Leeds once did it to Bradford with Leslie Vinacolo. Just kept tiring him out. Just kept making him face his own goal line and then run back. He just absolutely knackered him out.
That's it,
so
mate.
it does work.
It does, mate. I think that'll be key, and KR just couldn't sustain it. But if you can get some territory, big kick on, make him turn, get your defensive line reset while he's turning, and get up on him, mate. I think there's potential to cause them problems there, mate. But like we say, it's going to be a tough game, mate. It's going to be hard.
They're all going to be buzzing, you know. They've had a good week away at Vegas and stuff. So best thing we can, like I say, I know I've said it before, but just start really well. Try and keep Leeds crowd quiet as much as you possibly can do, because we've seen it before over years when we had that little era under Powell where we did really well against Leeds. You scored a try early on, the fans seem to get on top of the crowd, don't they? Seem to go a bit quiet and stuff like that.
They do, and you can. They're probably one of the grounds where it is kind of a modern ground, I think, where they've done it up. But one of the grounds
still on top of you, though,
that's kept its identity on top of you, and you can hear when the fans are frustrated.
Yeah.
You can hear it because you don't hear that band. And that's always nice. Always nice not to hear the band, mate. But yeah, I mean, you know,
they're a completely different team though these last 2 years, aren't they, compared to what they have been under sort of Rowan Smith and
Dave Ferner and
your good friend Rowan Smith.
Don't even know the bloke. You know, and obviously they had Agar before that, didn't they? So
yeah,
and then obviously David Ferner. So yeah, it's one of those, mate. When you see it in football, when you like with Man United, Arsenal, you know, Liverpool, when you build a dynasty like Leeds did, it's hard to replace those players so readily, especially in a salary cap sport. So it's taken Leeds. It's like a lot of people are tipping them to get to the grand final, aren't they? I think this year again, own personal opinion and putting rivalry aside, I think this year's probably a bit too soon for them. But I think with another cycle of recruitment, Brad Arthur stays. He don't go to. Well, obviously he's not going to Perth, is he? But he don't get linked with the PNG job, because I think Dimitri will take that, or Adrian Lamb, depending on what league offer Lamb, or another NRL club. I think another cycle with that happening, I think Leeds will be there next year, to be fair. But, you know, if
well, they become a bit of a laughing stock, didn't they? I know they won the sort of COVID Challenge Cup, but for their expectation as a club, I think they've fallen way short, haven't they? But last couple of years, they seem to have really sort of turned it round. I mean, under Rowan Smith, they had some really, like they signed Daryl Holford from us, didn't they?
Yeah.
3-year deal, and I think he got binned off after a year, didn't he? After he shushed the crowd at Magic Weekend.
Yeah. Came back to bite him, didn't it?
It did.
But yeah, no, they did make some really weird signings, like Luke Cooley.
Luke Cooley were another one as well, didn't they? We got Luke Cooley from there, didn't we?
We did, mate. We did. Really
what were the winger called as well? A sign from Ridley or Salford that.
Lewis Roberts.
Yeah, I think he's playing at Midlands now, isn't he?
Yeah, he is, mate. Another one that we were linked with, wasn't he?
I think we got offered him by Mr. Harrison, I think, didn't we?
Yeah, I think we did. But yeah, weird, mate. So yeah, tough game, mate. Tough game this weekend, but you know.
I mean, imagine if we can win this weekend going into St Helens week after.
Yeah.
You know, down at the One Ball Stadium on a Saturday, and I think they've got a couple of players out as well.
I've got Walmsley, Lomax,
Matty
Lees, Wellesby. You know that's 4 big hitters there, isn't it, for St Helens?
Yeah, and obviously Jackson Hastings is doing well at the minute. I don't think he's fallen out with anyone yet at St Helens. So,
this week, mate. This week before Cup.
This week might be right.
Another one who always plays well against us, mate. Like Albert Kelly always used to do. He used to wind me up and be like, every time I'd see him play, were rubbish. And he'd do nothing. And they were always good against us. Gaskell as well,
used to play it well against Cass.
Oh, he did, mate, didn't he? There's always one of them, isn't there, mate? Like Lee Gaskell.
Yeah. And then you watch him week after and he's getting up to that after like 40, 50
minutes. have a stormer against us, mate. And, you know, it's a few players like that, aren't there, mate, over the years that have been like that. It's like, what's his face for Wakey? Monty Beetham.
Oh yeah, Monty Beetham.
Rubbish. And then over here, and then he always had a stormer against us, did Monty Beetham. It's just like, you know, he was a good player in NRL and, you know, he did well at New Zealand Warriors and Samoa and stuff, but he never seemed to like cope over here, and then he like had stormers against us. But then again, mate, other clubs would say that our players like Rangy Chase, you know, Vowlsy, you know, Wayne Bartram. Going side precedent, mate, with this kit. You know, so there's many players, mate, that they'd say that about us. It's like when you sign a player who always tears you apart and he's garbage for you. How many times have we, thankfully nobody at the minute, but we've had that many a time in the past, haven't we? You know.
Oh yeah, I can remember early 2000s when we sort of lost like Danny Orr and Mick Cheeley and Dale Fritz, and it felt as though every player that we signed to replace all them players that had left, there's not. When we had like Craig Greenhill, did we have someone called Sean Ryan?
Sean Ryan, mate, yeah, from LFC, both of them.
Paul Newlove, didn't we? He just, you know, he started out his day and stuff like that.
Yeah.
Did we sign Ryan Sheridan? Did he break his arm at LFC away? I don't think he ever played again for us.
Yeah, I don't know if it was his arm, but he got a bad injury, didn't he?
Got a bad injury, didn't he? And I don't think he ever
Cup
sort of
game
played
as
again.
well. One of the worst games I've ever watched, that, mate. It was shocking. I think we got nilled, didn't we, in the end? And I think he were diving over to score, and he ended up getting injured, didn't he, and dropped ball.
Yeah.
But we never saw him again. But you know, he's cut his cloth as a coach, hasn't he? And he's a very good coach.
It's a shame, isn't it? I'm not sure he's working anyway. I think he was at Catalan, wasn't he, last year?
I think he's still there.
Or in London.
He went to London, didn't he? And then he went to Catalan. I think he's still at Catalan in some capacity.
I thought Lasty replaced him.
Maybe.
I might be wrong, like. Seems a bit weird that he don't work with Powell anymore, doesn't it?
Yeah, it is, mate. It is, but there you go, mate. There you go. So then, mate, prediction? 2 points?
It'd be nice, wouldn't it?
Well, I hope your team win, mate. Because that means my team's won then.
No, I think I've got a bit of a good feeling, actually. I'd take like a 20 points to 18 win, actually. I'd take that.
I'd take anything, mate. No golden point. Don't put me through heart attack territory.
No.
But, you know.
No, I think if you going to pick an opportunity or a time when to play Leeds, I think this weekend with them playing in Vegas and just with the travel and stuff like that, I think probably would have picked this weekend, wouldn't you? If you could have sort of picked any. But
and
what are you thinking?
Same, mate. And as you touched on there, mate, it's probably perfect weekend. I'd rather be. I'm not saying I'm going to beat them, mate. Far from it. But I'd rather be playing Leeds this weekend than Hull KR, who are scoring, coming from the same scenario, coming from Vegas. Because Hull KR are going to put everything in to make sure that they right the wrongs. Willie Peters won't have any different. So they'll be hurting from that. So I'm glad we're not playing Hull KR. Then again, never a right time to play Leeds, is it?
Not really,
predictable. No. But if there is a right time, it's probably now. You're not going to get any better opportunity than this in our current situation where there's opportunity to get something. But like we say, it's all down to the 17 players that take the field, isn't it? So
it is,
at some point. So
is there anything you want to sort of touch on about the Tigers podcast? Like obviously we've had a lot of people sort of saying, is there going to be interviews with players and stuff like that? You want to sort of
just to sound off, mate. We're gonna have hopefully gonna have a few players on. We're gonna have a few players on the next one. Hopefully, Mr. CEO is going to join us as well. Your everyone's favourite CEO, Danny Wilson. Right some wrongs there because he gets a lot of flack, and to be fair, a lot of the flack that he gets.
He's a good bloke.
He's a good bloke, and he's in the right. I'm not saying he wasn't in the right position as a director of rugby, but his hands were tied, which I'm sure we'll talk about on the cast. A question we'll be asking him on that definitely, and correcting some untruths, so to speak. Obviously we won't go through it because it's private, but the amount of players he's told us we had the opportunity to sign. And the
one I just found out the other day that played against us the other day that him and Radders sort of had agreed, but someone won't pay a transfer fee for him, sort of thing. And he'd probably be, I don't know about right now, but if we had that player in his trajectory at the moment, he's probably going to be one of the best fullbacks. He's probably going to be.
J Field, yeah?
No, but yeah. You know what I mean.
I do, mate, I do. And there's a number, mate, that have come to Super League and got the clubs around us in the league as well at the time, and have had good games against us, mate, and got results for the team. And it's just
there's players that have gone on to go win Challenge Cup finals. You're talking about last 2-3 years?
Yeah. There is, mate, and Super League as well. And
then obviously, for whatever reason at the time, Danny and Radders sort of weren't allowed to start sanction these deals for whatever reason. But yeah, obviously we can't say too much.
No, we'll ask Danny about that. We'll ask him the honest questions. We're not, even though it is a club podcast. I mean, don't get me wrong, we're not going to interrogate the man because he doesn't deserve that. He gets that enough on social media, but. We are gonna, obviously when hopefully next week when he comes on, if not week, 2 week after, we'll have a good chat with him, and we'll ask him some genuine questions where, where's the 5-year plan gone, etc. As people always like to bring up, it's always a continuous plan. It's never a 5-year plan.
Yeah.
It's always continuous. When you've got a recruitment cycle like rugby league and a salary cap, it's always moving parts. Even though Ches is coming out in the press saying, well, look, we've signed players for 27, we're already thinking about 28 already. And who's going to be available? Who will improve that 27 squad? Who does Kari want when a couple of players a couple of quarter players potentially leave? Because they're all pretty much signed up now, aren't they? So a couple of quarter players leave, a couple of players retire, a couple of players need to be moved on. So you're always thinking 3 or 4 seasons ahead anyway. Yeah. So when they say about 5-year plan and people go, 5-year plan, another one. It's always that. It's never going to stop. It's never going to stop, that 5-year plan in rugby league. Different in football and other sports, but rugby league, it's always, like football go window to window, don't they? But, in rugby league, especially now because you can talk to players so soon, you can talk to them from November, December time, I believe. You can get players pretty much signed up pretty quickly. It could be a case that some of those players move sooner, So we've had it before. Obviously before this came in, the early talking, we had it with Alex Mellor, didn't we? He came in. We announced he'd signed for the year after. Then a couple of weeks later, he'd fallen out. He wouldn't get a game at Leeds, and we ended up bringing him in early. So it does happen. Like I say, we'll have a proper chat with him. I'm going to get some players on. There's going to be some fun bits as well. Moving forward, some sketches and stuff like that, which will be quite good. Cause we want it to be like we don't want it to be a direct imitation, but like the footy show. I don't think we have anything like that over here. We've had some obviously comments from non-cast fans as well, and I've had non-cast fans messaging me on X and stuff as well, saying you that guy on that podcast, you crap. No, saying nice things, and a couple of Wigan and Hull fans and stuff, and it's and a couple of Bradford. So it's game caller. No, it's really nice to. Nah, I'm fully blocked. He won't be coming on cast, mate. Fully blocked. He blocked me. So it's nice to see that people. I think people just want rugby league content.
Yeah, we spoke about it the other day. It's still, I think there's a few guys on YouTube and TikTok and stuff that I've spoken to. They do. Obviously, there's Ross that does podcast as well.
Yeah,
but
very good.
As a sort of general topic in rugby league, especially in Super League over here, there don't really seem to be too many, does there really?
No. So
like what you've noticed now in Australia, you've got Willie Mason and Justin Orell do their podcasts. That's really good. Chad Townsend, he does his own podcast. The guy that was at Brisbane, the guy that were at Brisbane Broncos, what was his name? Kemp, something Kemp,
Darius Kemp?
Could be a real winger. I forget to retire early.
Darius Kemp.
Yeah, he's pretty good. So I don't really think there's too many.
Not really, mate. Not really. And I think it'll be as it evolves, and we've got some big plans like we touched on last week at the end of as you touched on at the end of the cast. We've got some really big plans coming up. Some cracking ideas we just need to put into fruition, and again, as we get opportunity, we'll do you all proud, and it'll be something that it's probably a forerunner that a lot of other clubs will pick up, and then your press will go, "Oh, we're gonna have done this initiative and done this amazing podcast," and it'll be like, "Well, we did it first." Like we linked up with Manly, and it were like, "Oh yeah, Casa joined Matt." I know behind the scenes stuff's happened, but you haven't seen anything. Up front, and stuff has happened. But then, like, York did it with Penrith, and it was like, "Oh, amazing, York are cutting edge and stuff," and it's like, yeah, it's slightly different what they've done with them, but it's not at the end of the day. It's still a link up in an RL club, so, funny, mate, funny.
Well,
funny. When
we did actually get offered a couple of their players last year, though, didn't we, at Manly?
We did, mate, we did, and
we were very close to signing the Fijian guy, weren't we?
We were.
Caleb Navale, I think his name was.
Yeah, and
I'm sure his sort of dad advised him to sort of stay at Manly, didn't he, at the time?
Yeah, he did, mate, he did. And there were Asatasi James as well.
Yeah, he got offered as well, didn't he?
Got offered, and for me, I'm probably glad we didn't move on that, because I think he's a big lad, but he's probably not what we needed at the time. Amon was what we needed at the time. And the only reason, it's no disrespect to Asatasi James, because he's a good player in his own right, but
different profile of prop
still a young prop as well, mate. Whereas Amon had got the miles on the clock and new Super League, so it's what we needed at the time. Whereas James will be a very good prop, but he wasn't ready at the time, so I'm glad we got Amon instead. But yeah, mate. So
well, I hope if people are watching this, we had no teething problems, and then we've managed to sort it out.
Hopefully, mate. Hopefully.
Last time we did this, we recorded for an hour, and then I went to play it back, and there was no sound whatsoever.
So hopefully, well, it won't be going out, mate, if there's no sound. Just me and you sat there going. So no, mate. Good chat. Good chat.
Just let us know what you think. Just leave a comment, and thank you for everyone that's commented and liked and messages on video that we've done on Tigers podcast.
Yep.
So wrapping up there.
Wrap up there, mate, and we'll see you next week for the Tigers podcast.
See you in a bit.
See you soon.